What's up? What's going on? Good morning. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Bama football on YouTube, Wednesday, August 6th. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Yo, I am feeling absolutely blessed. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling clear. Am I clear to you? Picture me rolling? Man, what a blessing. Yo, we are now, 24 days away from Alabama taking on Florida State. I hope you guys were able to rest well. I hope you got some breakfast in you. If you're fasting till lunchtime, I get it. If you're hitting your coffee, if you're hitting your second coffee, I get it. If your kids are at school, I get it. And if you're enjoying your life, I'm not gonna lie, I get it. All right, so welcome to the show today. I'm telling you, every single show is gonna be a banger, all right? And if you kicked it with me last night, we had a good time going over what Ryan Grubb said, along with some player highlights from practice. We're talking about practice, right? So we'll high point it a little bit from what Ryan Grubb said. We won't play the press conference, but we'll go over some points now that I've slept on it, now that I've had a couple things that really stood out to me. I'm going to ask you to make some bold predictions today. All right, so I need some feedback on that. And then at the end of the show, I told you, we are spinning the pinwheel, all right? We're spinning the pinwheel for the 2 tickets to Alabama versus Wisconsin. So happy hump day, all right? Alabama having its 6th practice today. And then later on today, you'll hear from Coach Kane Womack. So all good vibes. I can feel the energy in the room, man. I'm not gonna lie. Feels good, man. Feels good to be breathing. All right, okay. All right, of course, our summer sponsor who has been amazing to us, Sonic, West Memphis, Arkansas, Marion, Arkansas, where I-55 and I-40 hit. When you're rolling through, tell them your boy Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube sent you. Tell him, you don't have to tell him that you're an Alabama football fan. But if you want to, go ahead. Just you don't want a sneezer. Remember, this is the last calls, all right? To enter the raffle, $25 for these incredible tickets. Section E, row 61, Alabama versus Wisconsin. We have a good amount of people that have joined. How to get in the last minute if you're a last minute person. Bama YouTube, Venmo, Cash App, Bama YouTube. All right, that'll be the only time I tell it. And then we're going to spin that you know what at the end. All right. Can't wait. The Raffles, this is a big one, man. Shoot. All right, so yesterday, Ryan Grubb spoke to the media. And I was thinking about it. I thought about things. I think about, I'm a deep thinker, okay? Is anyone else a deep thinker? Sometimes it's a little much because I overanalyze. I get into deep thought, and my mind thinks about stuff. My mind is telling me, no. So I was thinking about Ryan Grubb, and I was like, man, I am so grateful for Grubb being here. Because I really think that he's going to catapult not only the offense, but I think he's going to catapult the team. This is a major component coming in, and I don't think I can overstate that. Okay, we got some overthinkers up in here for sure. Yeah, man, I like to sit down and think about stuff. My mind is running. It's deep, man. So with Ryan Grubb, do you guys feel the same way? The Patriot Life? Patriot Life coming through with a super. Appreciate you, Patriot Life. As always, bro. Thank you so much. But do you guys get the feel inside the comment box? And look, we talk about, this frequently. Do you feel that Ryan Grubb honestly will be a catalyst to this team's improvement, not only just on the offense, but entirely? Thumbs up if you agree with that. I don't know. I'm not calling him necessarily the missing link to everything that, went wrong last year. But it kind of seems like, if, Coach Kalen DeBoer and what he had was the yin, then maybe Ryan Grubb was the yang. I don't know. It feels a little bit more settled with Grubb here. It just does. And I'm not taking anything away from what Kalen DeBoer did in year one or Courtney Morgan. It's just like, he's a big part of this. A really big part of this. And then as I went into, more deep thought, I was like, wow. I was like, look at the evolution of the offensive coordinators. Man, there's been a lot of guys here, right? And I get it, Sheridan is still here. He's not, the offensive coordinator, but man, look at what's been happening for the last 4 seasons, because Bill O'Brien was here 2 seasons. So really, from Sheridan, that was 1 season, 2 seasons, that's 4 seasons, 5 seasons with Steve Sarkisian. It's crazy to think that the COVID year was already 5 years ago, right? Man. So Ryan Grubb quickly, and I think clearly has what it takes. Like this is kind of the standard. And look, no offense to the other guys that are here. This is just personal opinion. But I think this guy is equal to or soon to be to this guy in terms of like an offensive mind. I mean, there's elite offensive minds. These guys are at the top, Sark and Grubb. So, and I think these guys in between, obviously, they gave their all or whatever, but they just weren't able to drive the Bugatti how it needs to be driven. Weren't able to run the household how it needs to be ran. All right. Hey, Jay Johnson, I got you in, dog. So now, you look at Ryan Grubb and, what he's bringing. I'm all for it. I'm excited about it for various reasons, all right? Said this yesterday when talking about the quarterbacks. I'm going to ask some bold predictions in just a minute. He said this on the quarterbacks. He said, right now, we're keeping it status quo. All the guys have been getting 1s, 2s, and 3s with the exception of Ty Simpson, okay? So, clearly it means what it means. The guys have been getting the same amount of repetitions. Ty is the only guy not to rep with the third team. It makes total sense. Why would he rep with the third team? The other guys, need those reps with the third teams because they just got here. They're entering their second year. Ty Simpson's been here for a while. So first team, second team. And this is going to be a continuing topic as we go forward. So get comfortable listening to quarterback over-analyzation, different points. But clearly, with them not having a quarterback speak to the media, it just means that these guys are still battling it out. They're probably playing a little chess too. Look, Florida State is trying to figure out, who's it going to be? It's clearly going to be Ty. I'm with you, Wade's World, 100%. Like if I literally was like betting like $20 on who was going to be the quarterback, I bet Ty. But I think what they're doing is they're like, work for it and show the consistency and performance that it takes all the way up until that first Monday when they distribute the depth chart. Because the Monday before Florida State, which is now in 2 weeks, will know who's going to be starting for that game. Remember, the day when they hand out the depth chart? Jimmy Williams in with the super. Let's see what Jimmy Williams has to say. Jimmy says Ryan Grubb will be a mad scientist for our offense. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I mean, I recently even heard Ryan Williams talking about Ryan Grubb and just how excited he is, and he can't wait to get on the field and kind of showcase this offense because he's so excited about the different components that it has, right? And I don't necessarily agree with this, JTL, inside the comment box. Battling with the freshmen isn't a good look. No, I mean, look, I think I'm trying to find the comment, but I think with Ty battling with anybody, that just shows you kind of where the room is. And I think it honestly shows you where Keelan Russell is in the development, right? So I don't think it's a bad look at all. I think that competition is very good. I think competition makes, I said this for a long time. Competition makes every single thing better. That's why you have to continue to have, you ever race by yourself? You ever ran by yourself? Race somebody. You'll run faster. Wade's World has it like this. He has Ty Mac Keelan. You know what? This is interesting right here. Post your quarterback rankings before I move to the next slide. 1, 2, 3. Like from the things you've heard, from the things that you've read on your premium sites, from the other YouTube channels that you listen to, insiders, people at the gas station, post kind of how you have the quarterbacks right now. If you just had to say, like, if somebody asked you, who's Alabama's 1, 2, and 3, how would you say? What did Heather Dinich say? I missed that. She's an ESPN analyst. She ruffles a lot of feathers. I mean, I haven't seen what she said. Did she say something? Someone post what she said. All right, so, okay, Lance is in here. Look, none of these are coaches, okay? These are people just like you. All right, Daniel has Ty Keelan Mac, okay? Lance has Ty Mac Keelan. Kalen has Ty Mac Keelan. Roll Tide has Ty Mac Keelan. Mike out in Austin, what's up, dog? Has Ty Mac Keelan. And he's saying that, damn, he's going with the major bold prediction that Keelan won't see playing time this year. Much playing time. Joe Crooms, what's up, dog? Good to see you. Says Ty Mac Keelan. So a lot of it is Ty Mac Keelan. That's probably, looks like that's 60, 70%. Yeah, okay. You know, I was kind of feeling, I think you might be right. I don't know. I kind of feel that Keelan might be too. It's a tough question. That's why I asked it. All right, who would throw the most interceptions this season? I have no idea. Oh, Jeff is saying that Heather Dinich said that Penn State should be number 1. You know, we looked at Penn State's schedule yesterday on the show. They really don't play anybody overly challenging throughout the season. They have a lot of people coming back. Their quarterback should be fantastic, right? Should they be number 1? I probably don't agree with that. I probably putting Texas number 1. Randall, if you want to do that, then just hit Bama_YouTube and Cash App Bama YouTube. That's the best way. I appreciate you asking. Thank you. The way the answers, King's family chimes in. He's like, the way the answer the question sounds like it's clearly Ty and Keelan too. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like that. I don't know. We'll track it. And I'm telling you, so keep your heads on a swivel, everybody, because Alabama, and stay close to your sites and your YouTube channels and all that, because Alabama has its first scrimmage, a very, very important scrimmage this Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium, okay? I think you'll start to see some movement right there. What's up, Tink About It? I like that username, dog. Tink About It. What you guys think about Ty being our Jay Coker? I mean, I think Ty is Ty. I think his story is still far from being written. I'm excited to see. I'm pulling for him, man. I really am. And that doesn't mean that I'm pulling against any other quarterbacks. I like people who are loyal. I like people who work. I like people who have stayed committed to the process. Just look at it. I mean, think about this. This is where Ty Simpson has been. He spent, what did he get here? Last year with Bill O'Brien, Tommy Rees, Nick Sheridan, now Ryan Grubb. I mean, the guy has had a lot of different things thrown at him, and he's never really wavered. So we'll see. I'm pulling for him, man. And just as I'm pulling for the other guys for different reasons, I think Ty, his story is not written, but he's going to have an opportunity with an incredible offense to do some dynamic things. And he doesn't have to do everything. That's the best part about it. And I'm not just saying, oh, he's a game manager. And I know there's some footage out there yesterday of Ty throwing like a pass that was behind. We don't see all the passes, right? They don't show us guys getting picked off. Like Ryan Grubb was talking yesterday. He said the guys were, there was turnovers out there. They're not going to show that to us. All these guys, I'm sure, have thrown interceptions this fall camp. All right, there was a couple things that really stood out to me yesterday from Ryan Grubb's press conference, and one of the quotes was "Jam is the man," and I was like, "Thank you, Ryan Grubb." I've been talking about this guy for such a long time, and it seems like every time I talk about him, I'm not saying you guys, but it seems like it just continues to like fall on deaf ears in terms of like the national media. Nobody talks about this guy. Nobody, and I don't understand why. Maybe he was overshadowed because, the running back and quarterback last year was Jalen. Maybe people, they did this dude dirty on the video game because he has no speed. I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing. So to hear this quote, and he says, Jam Miller, yeah, he's the man. Love that guy. Jam's been doing everything. I think the thing about a guy like Jam, you love an older guy that doesn't feel that his skill set is complete. That means that he's working every single day, right? We got a good comment coming in. Love this. Not a Bama fan. Sheila K says, not a Bama fan, but so much respect for the Bama program. I really thought Milroe was going to be a good athlete in person. I truly believe that this year, Bama will be way more balanced this year with Ty. And I think, I like that comment. I do feel that, with Ty Simpson, like I was just saying before I moved to the slide, he doesn't have to do everything. He can rely on his running backs, all the arsenal behind him. He can get the football out to his incredibly elite wide receivers, right? I don't think that Jam runs for 1,000 yards, and that's not a knock on him. I just kind of go in what Sheila K said. I think it's going to be more balanced out. Is there anyone here that thinks that Jam Miller will run for 1,000 yards? I don't think so. Do you think, if you think that Jam Miller is going to run for 1,000 yards, type in 1K inside the comment box. I don't think so. I probably have him for like 720. You don't need him to run for 1,000 yards. You don't. Oh, I think there'll be more than 1,500 yards total for the ground game for sure. All right, Lance is in the 1,000 club. BJ too. Wow. Okay. Mark is saying 1,000. Okay. There's some people that think that Jam's gonna run for 1,000. Jimmy saying 1,200. Damn. I kind of like this, Chris. Chris is saying 2 800-yard running backs and 1 500. Daniel's saying 1,500 total. For the whole running back room, I think there'll be more than that. Let me see. Let me do some rough math on my phone. All right, so Jam 720, Richard Young 575, and throw in the variety of running backs with 400. Yeah, that's about. I have the running backs right now in total like 1,700 yards total. I have Jam 720, Richard Young 575, and then kind of a variety of running backs filling whatever else that is. I guess probably the better question would be, does the running back room as a whole run for over 2,000 yards, right? King's family in with three-headed monster room will run for 2,200. All right. I feel like the backs will be Miller, Richard Young, and Daniel Hill. And they've been talking about Jalen Washington too. I mean, even Ryan Grubb yesterday during this interview, he was talking about Jalen Washington. I don't know, something to think about. But anyways, I was just like, finally, people, starting to talk about Jam Miller, rightfully so. Young C Gaming has 1,900 for the running backs. I'm going to talk about 2 wide receivers and then talk about the biggest thing that Ryan Grubb had seen after 5 practices. Now, right now, Alabama is holding its 6th practice. You're also going to hear from Kane Womack today. So we'll do kind of the same format as yesterday. We'll break down the footage later on today, and then we'll talk about Kane Womack on our nightcap. And I get you guys want to see the continuation of the stream, because if you weren't here, I played college football 2026. I won the championship game. It was exciting as all hell. There was some 1-point games, some comeback games, and you guys want to continue to see year 2 now that players have left and transferred out. I'll play it. I'll stream it. There'll be new storylines to follow. Yeah, we'll do it. I loved this yesterday. He was talking about Isaiah Horton. Okay, so let me ask you this. Inside the comment box, while I talk about Isaiah Horton and what Ryan Grubb said, post how many yards you think that the top 3 wide receivers will have at Alabama. So, for example, Ryan Williams, 1,300, Journey Bernard, 1,000, Isaiah Horton, 800, something like that. Ryan Williams was close to 1,000 yards last year, but he didn't hit it. You got to think that he goes over 1,000 this year, but and I don't think the new names in the room are going to take away any of his production, right? This was quality yesterday. A great quote said on Isaiah Horton, he's hungry. I mean, he's a guy like today. He had a touchdown in the red zone and ran a really good physical route in the middle third of the end zone. Yeah. This guy's really good. Really good. Scale of 1 to 10, I think he's a 10. I think Ryan Williams is a 10. Isaiah Horton's up there at 10. Journey Bernard's probably up there too. I think that Journey Bernard might be like a 9 of a 10. But he's going to get, I would imagine, the second most amount of volume in terms of targets, receptions. And he gets overshadowed because this guy just got here. He's 6'4", so people talk about that. Like me, I'm excited about a taller wide receiver. But don't get it twisted. Journey Bernard is an absolute dog. That guy is so good. Alabama's wide receiver room is less without Journey Bernard. All right, and I know you have other guys that could step up and whatever, but Journey Bernard is a guy. We probably need to give him more credit. And as you guys are mentioning inside, you guys talking about Rico Scott, Jalen Hell, Lazier Brooks, Derek Meadows, Avery Hampton, Cole Adams, Jalen Mbakwe, right? I mean, the rideouts are back. I don't know if they call themselves rideouts anymore. That's kind of like an old term, but that was kind of the standard. And I think this is where you'll see Isaiah Horton and probably some of those bigger tight ends make Alabama dangerous inside the red zone. And you kind of compound Ryan Grubb's creative play calling ability with Ty Simpson's ability to make plays, to be consistent, to throw a catchable ball with mismatches because of Ryan Williams at the slot or Isaiah Horton split out wide, with tight ends that are 6'6", 260, in an offensive line that can provide protection, and a running back that can run exceptional wheel routes and has really good hands. That's 6, right? That's not 3 points. That's 6 points on the board. Oh, Marcus, you're right. You're right. Thank you. They're takers. I like that. Because that's true. That's what Jamarcus Shepard named them. The takers. I think that's pretty cold, right? All right. What's up, Ron? Ron is saying everybody on the table going to eat this year. Roll Tide, roll. Roll Tide always and forever. All right, I have to give a quick little shout out today. All right, so is anybody? I know I have a small following out in Leeds, Alabama. Anybody out in Leeds? Is there anybody on here from Leeds, Alabama? All right, before I get to my next point, we're going to talk about Jalen Mbakwe next. but I have to give a quick little shout out. Okay. And I told him I would. So a while ago, 1 second, it's my daughter. I gotta take this. Sorry, I still got the kids, so full time. So, that was my daughter. You know what? You know what she was asking for? Cause Kane wakes up early, so I'm eating breakfast. Lacey's asking if we had any ramen. Yeah, of course we have ramen. Sorry, but I'm a dad. I'm a dad first. So, anyways, I wanted to give a shout out to Toby out in Leeds, Alabama. All right. So I met Toby a long time ago, probably like 3 or 4 seasons ago, when I used to go to the games and stuff like that. And I was going into the media room, and Toby, who's like the biggest Alabama football fan from Leeds, pulled me aside. We took a photo together, and it kind of became like a thing for 3 seasons. So we don't see each other anymore because I don't go to the games. But he sent me this, and he asked me if I could post it for him. All right. So, Toby, we love you. We appreciate you. And that's a great photo. And you know what? I like a couple things real quick. I really like the hat. I have this hat. I've worn this a couple times. All right. And I like this polo. This is a really nice polo, Coach. I don't know when this was. It looks like it was at a baseball game, right? So, anyways, Toby, if you're out there, thanks for sending it. He sent it yesterday, and he just reminded me, all right? By the way, what's your favorite ramen? Lacey loves ramen. Look, I cook. I do. I cook all the time, I promise you. But they're kids. They like ramen. So we went to Walmart the other day, and I bought groceries out over there, and then I went back again, and I bought school supplies. That's just it. Watch. See if I can. Remember the Oriental one? They don't have that anymore. I don't know what happened to it. The kids I think like the chicken. Also mentioned was Jalen Mbakwe. All right. So, this has been a really good story to follow early on. Look, I get it. We're at practice number 6, but one of the bigger storylines coming into this season was what's going to happen with Jalen Mbakwe. Is he going to play? Is he going to be able to get on the field? He switched from corner to wide receiver, and you got some absolute dogs in the wide receiver room. Are we going to hear about him ever again? Is he going to hit the transfer portal? Right? Yo, he's been making plays. Jalen, and I guess it's not surprising because of the type of athlete this is, right? This guy is a world-class athlete. I mean, he played quarterback. He played wide receiver. He played corner, safety. So Ryan Grubb said this yesterday. He's like, look, I think Jalen is one of the guys we haven't talked about a bunch, but I think he's really setting into a role as a wide receiver. If you played the video game, Jalen Mbakwe is a beast. He's fast. Mike G says he don't eat ramen because he's not poor homeless. And someone said that Oriental is now teriyaki. Okay, all right. I know they're kids. They like what they like. All right. The biggest thing he said, and the biggest takeaway was this. And I think this was very important. He said, look, because a reporter asked him, they're like, out of the first 5 practices, what has kind of stood out most? He didn't go to the running backs. He didn't go to the quarterbacks. He went right to the offensive line, right where it all starts. And if we don't have a quality offensive line, and if we don't have a quality special teams game, this team falls into that 9-3 window, right? That was one of Josh Pate's scenarios. You know, they're kind of similar season last year. If you don't have a tightened up offensive line, and if you don't have a top tier special teams unit, that's what happens. You win a lot of games because you have more athletes and you have a very good defense. That's going to eliminate big plays from opposing teams. But if your offensive line isn't tightened up, we're in trouble. If your special teams isn't tightened up, we're in trouble. So he says this, man, honestly, I'm really excited about the way that the offensive line is playing. The physicality that they've been showing. I in the small clips and things that I've seen, it seems like he's right on point with that. Yesterday, I was looking at some footage of Caden Proctor. Man, he's moving wonderfully. He's over what? He's benching over 500 pounds. You can't take the bench onto the field, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, it takes work to get there. Parker Brailsford, benching over 500 pounds, a returning All-American, one of the top returning players in Pro Football Focus. And then Jaden Roberts, benching over 900 pounds. Gino Vandermark, a Swiss Army knife. Cam Dewberry, out there battling for playing time as well. Starting to see new guys rise up, like a Jackson Lloyd, right, as a freshman. Olas Allen. Rock Montgomery looked good on the footage that I saw yesterday. Will Sanders, right? So that I was like, wow, that's a really good. He capped the interview by hitting that point, right? All right, I want you guys to make some bold predictions here, okay? We'll have some fun with it. You throw out a bold prediction, basically, remember what Coach Saban said? He's like, you throw some, on the wall and see if it sticks. That's what we're going to do right now, all right? So let your hair down, make a bold prediction, and we'll start by, actually, let's see. I thought I had it in here. Let's see. There we go. And I can't believe I found it on all those slides that I have. All right, so the first thing that I want you to do is make a bold prediction based on the schedule, okay? So whatever you think on the schedule, let's go with the first game. We'll do this a couple different ways. Make a bold prediction on the first game of the season, all right? First game of the season, just throw something out there if you're brave enough. What is your bold prediction? It could be anything. It could be with the quarterback, could be with a positional group. It could be any single thing. Randall Green says, Ty will be elite. My nephew plays for his dad at Middle Tennessee. That's what's up. Appreciate it. His dad seems like such a quality dude, right? Thanks for the super chat, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Dope avatar, too. All right, so first, we'll get back to you, Wayne, but let's see. Bold. This is the first game bold prediction. Wade is saying 52-17. Daniel's saying 42-7. J-Dub, what's up, J-Dub, is saying that Ty rushes for 2 touchdowns in the opener. Mike from Austin is saying Bama 35, Florida State 34. Marcus is saying Bama by 3 touchdowns. Max Tooney 28-10, slow start. Let's see. Joe Crooms is saying we play all 3 quarterbacks, winning by 30. King's family saying Bama 47, Bad Guys 13. Ty throws for 300. Man, we need to put this back in the vault. Think about it. It says Ty throws for 300. Wow, a lot of people in for Ty going for 300 yards. That would be, we break the internet on the post-game show with that for sure. Let's see what Paul has to say. Paul says that Jam going to have a huge game against Florida State. Daniel comes back and says Keelan throws a touchdown. You guys wilding out. Jimmy says 45-17. Nick says Ty comes out slinging, and all the haters act like they always knew he was good. Kaylin D-Boss says 76-0. Amanda Jane, what's up, Amanda? Says 38-14. All right, you guys are crazy. All right, that went better than I anticipated. That was good. All right, now, okay, that was your week 1 wilding out prediction. How about now for this season? What is your so look on the board. Hold on. Give me some bold predictions looking at the season. It could be anything. Any single thing that comes to your mind, just throw it out there. Don't hold back. Live your life. Audio Truth is saying 2009 repeat. Hungry, not satisfied. Previous year. Previously on Ready to Die. But showed you could beat anybody. Ron South is saying Thomas Castellanos gets hurt in the first quarter. That would basically be what happened to DeAndre Francois, right, when they first played. Ruben Poole, what's up, Ruben? Good to see you, dog. Says Deontay wins the Butt Kiss Award. Does anybody know what that's from? Previously on Ready to Die. Rocket Sound says Kevin Riley is a big surprise. Ooh, that would be interesting. Nicole is saying good morning to Max Tooney. Let's see what else we got here. Damn, J-Dub. J-Dub coming in high and saying that Jam wins the Heisman. Ooh, but Randall is saying that Ty wins the Heisman. All right. Randall saying Kyler Drake fan. I love music. I love hip hop. I love R&B, rock, country. If I'm not singing like R&B throwbacks, I'm probably singing like some Morgan Wallen or Ernest. I love Ernest. I don't know what it is. It's like, it reminds me of, I grew up on 90s country. It was weird. I was either listening to 90s country, George Strait, Garth Brooks, or Biggie and Pac. That was like where I was. It was wild growing up. Bama steamrolls Florida State, Jam rushes for 2 touchdowns. Joe Kroom says 13-2, losing in the Natty. Ooh, I like this one. Daniel saying we don't let any shovel passes go for positive yards. Ryan would be the high. Yeah, I'm surprised no one has said this one. Actually, I like this. You know what? We probably haven't talked enough about. Where's Ryan at with the Heisman odds? That might be some good value right now. Let's quickly look at the. I didn't think about this, so let's go to Vegas Insider or Heisman 2025 odd. I'm just curious to see where Ryan's at, because that might be some good value right now if you're out there. Let's see. Yeah, Ryan Williams plus 3,000. Damn, that's not bad. Arch Manning plus 700. Garrett Nussmeier plus 900. Cabe Klubnik plus 1,000. Jeremiah Smith plus 1,200. You know what? That's good value. Plus 3,000. Interesting. Seth is saying Ryan only goes for 600 yards. You think a sophomore slump? No. What's up? LKJR says this. The start scares Bama fans. Lost to Florida State. Wisconsin becomes their game. Bama wins SEC over Texas. A tough schedule. All right. I think, because we looked at schedules yesterday, right? And we went kind of all over the schedules. And I feel that this particular schedule, it's challenging, right? You got Florida State. Clearly, I mean, Florida State is not the same team that they were last year. Nobody is. But this team rebuilt. Still your favorite. Close to a 2-touchdown favorite in the opener. You got Louisiana Monroe. That's always that second game, kind of warm up at home. You got Wisconsin that you should kind of buzzsaw through. Good coach, but it is what it is. We showcased that last year when they went up to Camp Randall. Take on Georgia. This middle stretch is tough. Georgia on the road. Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia. Missouri, Eli Drinkwitz. I think the Missouri game is a trap game. I really do, because you might be coming off a high from beating Vanderbilt, right? Getting some payback. You probably ranked really high depending on what happened with that Georgia game. and you go on the road to Missouri, right? Who knows? At this point in time, right here during the middle point of the season, depending on the outcome of Ohio State and Texas, Bama probably finds themselves, if they beat Georgia, maybe within that 2 to 5 window, right? And you go on the road, high off a win over Georgia and Vanderbilt, and then you have Missouri on the road. Those are those weird trap games. Tennessee will be difficult, but I think, Alabama gets them at home. South Carolina, of course, we know how that game was last year, and the quarterback's back. LSU, I don't know what I know JTL's inside the comment box, but I don't know why. I'm like not the only person. I'm not stressing that LSU game. I don't know why. I stressed the South Carolina game on the road. I stressed kind of the game against Auburn on the road on the back end, but I don't really stress that LSU game. Oklahoma, that's interesting. But I don't know. I think Kalen DeBoer keeps them undefeated at home. The only games I think that Alabama was to lose, and I haven't done like a prediction or show or anything like that. Maybe I will down the road. But I think that if Alabama loses a game or games, it's on the road. That's it. Randall Green, what's up, dog? I appreciate it, man. He says Bama beats Georgia in Athens, and it's the first 16-0 team in college football history. That is crazy. I know you got to win 16 games. I went 15-1, and it was a struggle. It was an absolute struggle. I still think about that Georgia game that I won and the Penn State game that I barely edged it out. He's got that throwback undefeated hoodie on. He says, with the $2 super chat, he says, Coach DeBoer, Coach of the Year. That, you know what? I would be curious to see the odds on that, because how good this team is coming into this year and what they went through last year, that's an interesting one. Coach Saban, which I thought was kind of unfair, he never really won Coach of the Year awards. I think he won the Bear Bryant Coach of the Year award maybe twice. Think about that. I kind of always thought that was a little bit unfair. It was like, okay, Coach Saban's expected to be good. Yeah, well, that's why Coach of the Year is about retooling year after year after year, not just like having a down year and making a comeback. It's not the comeback Coach of the Year award. It's the Coach of the Year award. Coach Saban rarely won Coach of the Year awards. It was weird. Yeah, I haven't seen. Have you guys seen this? This is out there. Yeah, and Mike G's right. Has anybody watched Any Given Saturday? I haven't seen that. Is it worth watching? Thumbs up if you think so. Somebody was talking about it last night. Was it you, Dan Caraway? I haven't seen it, but I had seen Any Given Sunday, right? Anybody else seen Any Given Sunday? Man, I love the speech, right? In Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino, that's the best speech. Damn, that was a good speech. I was just thinking about it. I was reading the transcript, man. That was like chills down my spine. All right. Okay. I'm gonna run real quick through the roster, all right? And you just give me a bold prediction, all right? You guys remember that speech from who remembers that speech from Any Given Sunday? Here it is. I don't know what to really say. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down today. Either we heal as a team or we're going to crumble. inch by inch, play by play until we're finished. We are in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. We can either stay here and get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight back into the light. We can climb out of hell 1 inch by inch. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you, and that's part of life. But you only learn when you start losing stuff. You find out that life is a game of inches. So is football, because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1 step too late or too early, you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are all around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone around us into pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when it all add up to all those inches, that's going to take the blah, blah, blah difference between winning and losing, between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the man who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know that if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. That's 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't do it for you. You got to look the guy next to you. You got to look into his eyes. Now I think you're going to see a guy next to you that is willing to go that inch for you. You see a guy who's willing to sacrifice for his team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're going to do the same thing. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now as a team or we die as individuals. That's football. That's it. Now, what are you going to do? Damn, chills. Shoot, man. Isn't that crazy? Man, wild. If you haven't seen that speech, yeah, I mean, I don't do it justice, man. It is honestly the dope. We need to dub that over like Alabama football highlights. Can somebody do that? Shoot, man. Crazy. All right. We'll do this real quick. We'll run through the roster real fast. I'll show you piece by piece. All you do is you just make a bold prediction, and then we'll move on. All right? Make a bold prediction about the room, and then we'll go to every single position real quick, okay? All right, first of all, your bold prediction for the quarterback room. All right? Give you 1 minute. Your bold prediction for the quarterback room. Just throw it up there. Like Mike G says, it doesn't have to be accurate. It's just bold. What you guys got? 30 seconds. Bold prediction for the quarterback room. I want this to be bold. All right, we got someone threw something out there. Max Tooney just said tie. Maybe the comments are frozen on my side. All right, Ethan says Ty wins the okay, here they go. They're starting to show on my side. Ty wins the Heisman. Bold prediction, Keelan Russell sees no playing time. Matt Hell says Ty leads this team to the playoffs. Sammy says Ty will have a breakout season. Randall says bold prediction, Ty rushes and passes for more than Milrose minus sack yards. Over 5,000 collectively for the room. Ty pops off and goes for a first-round draft pick. Man, loving the vibes. Mac, because he's Grubb's guy. Ooh, blissful love is that. That's like that A1 bold. Remember, get you here, get you right here. You guys aren't old enough for that. Glenn Martin says Ty gonna have a Mac Jones type season. That would be crazy. From saying hands off to running backs. Max Tooney says Ty moves to Finland. All right, you guys are silly. All right, running backs, make your bold prediction. You got 45 seconds. All right, you got to run through these. Pinwheel coming up. Big ticket item. What is your bold prediction for the running back room? I thought we had kind of some some music that was like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style. Hey, man, I hope you've had a good time, bro. I do too. I've had a good time. Kind of like when Quentin Williams was like, bless you, thank you. I like when I sneeze on the show now because that's what I do. But ever since I've been doing that, I haven't been sneezing as much. All right, some bold predictions coming in. 2 running backs over $1,000. Daniel Hill takes over and gets 1,000 yards rushing. We have 2,000-yard rushers this season. Jam number 1 running back. Antonio, what's up, dog? I ain't seen you in a minute. Has 1,000 yards. AKC's playing time. Dre, ooh, I like this. Dre establishes firm 3rd guy in the future. BJ says 2 running backs, 1,000 yards. Daniel says, is that Ryan Williams? Daniel Hill rushes for 10 touchdowns. Anthony Poindexter, dog. Man, shooting from the parking lot. Bama Boy saying Ty only needs to be Greg McElroy to get it done. All right. Okay, you guys funny. All right. I only have 3 wide receivers per screen, so what we'll do for this one is we will go to this group of wide receivers. Got Cole, Rico, Jalen, and Lazier. Make a prediction, a bold prediction for something on this screen, okay? All right, Antonio, I got you, dog. All right, so make a bold prediction from just what we got right here on the screen. Cole Adams, Rico Scott, Jalen Hill, Lazier Brooks. We got, 11 wide receivers, so I couldn't fit them all on the screen. I could, but they'd be like micro. What's up, John Avery? Good to see you, dog. Appreciate you, man. Okay, here we go. Marcus is playing. He says Lazier Brooks wins the 4th wide receiver on the team. Lazier has 500 yards. Cole Adams got that drip hairstyle. Yeah, he's got that. That's definitely blow dried, 100%. Lazier first touchdown will be an 80-yard bomb. Ethan says Ryan Williams has 1,500 yards. Mike G says Cole Adams transfers. Max Tooney says Rico Suave leads in receiving yards, becomes Ty's favorite. Wow, this is actually a good one. Cole has 2 punt returns for a touchdown. Alexander Odom says Rico has more yards than Jeremy Bernard. Anthony Poindexter said, I like this username. Rico Suave has more rushing yards than more rushing yards and receiving. Rico. Can anyone else roll their R's like that? Rico. I don't know why I can do that. Rico becomes, damn, a lot of people pulling for Rico. Wide receivers perform like the Blue Angels. Cole will be our key receiver in short routes needed. Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, starting offensive line. What's your bold prediction for the offensive line? You got a minute. Rico Suave. Who sang that song? Why you guys add your who sang Rico Suave? Who sang Rico Suave? Is this who it was? Rico Suave was a 1999 single by an Ecuadorian-born American rapper named Gerardo. It appeared on his 1991 album, Morrito. The track peaked number 7 on the Billboard and Top 100. Okay. All right. No. Gerardo. All right. Offensive line. Ooh, I like this right out the gates. You know, the offensive line will win the Joe Moore Award. Yeah, that's the top offensive line award in the country. You know, Parker Brailsford was part of the offensive line at Washington that won that award, right? That would be an amazing accomplishment I like that. I didn't think about that. Cam Dewberry starts. Ooh, I like this. Cam Dewberry starts over Geno. I'm going to say, I haven't made a lot of bold predictions on this, but I think, I kind of feel like Geno Vandermark starts. I don't know. I just. Caden Proctor averages 10 pancake blocks per game. The whole team learns finish. Win my God bless. Win my best offensive line in the country. Jaden Roberts has a rushing touchdown. Anthony says Alabama offensive line will have 3 All-Americans. All right. And Max says Vandermark bypasses finish and eventually goes Danish. Okay. Guys. Oh my goodness. It's so funny. All right. Let's do okay, we'll do bandit and then we'll go to the wolf position. All right, bold prediction for the bandit position. Make it good. You got a minute. Oh, I love this one. Bubba Rogers is a first-team All-American. Why did they make him? I never understood why they created him. So if you don't know what this is, the video game, college football, they created 2 players on Alabama's team. One was Bubba Rogers, who was a right tackle who actually started over Welcome Formby, I promise you. And then another one was LaMarcus Fox, who also played on the defensive line. And each of these players were like ridiculous. They were good. All right, Connor Sanders says Keon Keeley has a breakout. You know how crazy we're going to go if Keon Keeley gets like a quarterback sack or has like 8 tackles or something like that? That would be crazy. We have been sitting on this for a long time. It's been a long 3 years. Ooh, I like Jimmy Williams is saying LT Overton with 10 sacks. That would put him first round. I'm going to say too, like, these guys, this is a quality room. Even over here, I know you guys haven't really heard about Cavante Henry much, or Fatoa Henry. I think he showed up as Cavante. He's listed on the roster as Fatoa. This guy should not be slept on. So it showcases the depth at Alabama. And I know you're not surprised, but this young man can play some football. He has an incredible film. Incredible. All right, we'll go to let's do this wolf position. All right, make a bold prediction on the wolf position real fast. You got a minute. I think I'm going to say here that Yanze Pierre is probably number 2 in this room. And I think that Yanze Pierre anywhere else in the country would probably be number 1. I think Yanze Pierre could probably play a limited amount this year, kind of like a role position, and still be picked up within like the 3rd round of the NFL drafts. I'm telling you, Yanze Pierre is a monster. You know, it's wild. Him and Keon Keeley came in the same year, right? They're both redshirt sophomores. Think about that. Think about that recruiting. Oh, Lance is saying that Justin Hill starts. I don't know about that, man, but no, I got you, Randall. Dude, I've highlighted you, bro. I appreciate you. Trust me, I appreciate you more than you know, dog. I'm glad that you're here. I got you 2 super chats, 100%. Kalen says that Noah Carter gets 5 sacks this year. Marcus says the wolf position, the freshman push for playing time. Project 77 says agree. Daniel says that I like Pierre. This is true. Noah Carter has a breakout season. Look at this entire room. This entire room is just nasty. I mean, the room is crazy. Case, we're making some bold predictions, dude. So if you just joined, make a bold prediction real quick. We're just flying through a couple. We've went through all positions and made some, some bold predictions. We're almost wrapped up. All right, corners. You have we'll do safeties, and then we'll do special teams. Then we'll spin the pinwheel. All right. So make a bold prediction on the safeties. All right, what's up, Jeff Stapleton? How you doing, dude? Alabama channel long run with Piano Man Kyle. I don't know what that is. What is that? Some Piano Man? A long, long time ago, I can still remember the day the music died. Ivan Taylor perseveres. Love it. Bray is the best safety in the country. All right, love you, Daniel. Take it easy, dog. Sad misses most. No, Lance. Jimmy Williams, Bray Hubbard, 2 picks and forced fumble in game 1. That would be crazy. Jeff is going back to the running back, saying he has jam breaks for a 1,000-yard season. American Pie, the movie? Oh, the song. The movie was, man. American Pie, remember that movie was, and it came out when we were like teens. That stuff was hilarious. What is this? I don't know what you mean, Jeff. All right. We lead the conference in picks. Bray gonna ball out. All right, last one. Last one. All right, let's spin the pinwheel next. All right, what do you make a special teams prediction? Special teams prediction. Bold prediction. I'm curious to see what you guys have here. Oh, okay, thanks, From. Any given Saturday, mostly focus on Vanderbilt, LSU, and is that on South Carolina or like Southern Cal? You already grown, American Pie came out? Yeah. I had to figure out what year it was, but I think it was like NC 17. Joe Kroom was saying we lead the nation in pick 6. Alex Osproff wins the job over Blake Dowd. Max Tooney says that Connor Talty is his hero. Talty kicks a 60-yard field goal. All right. Bach is the return. Oh, I like that. I didn't think about returners, right? Southern Red says, please show. Yeah, I appreciate that, Southern Red. Thanks for giving my back. Bold prediction. Our special teams will not be very special. A new Bama channel, Kyle Long Run with Piano Man. He just started his channel. Okay. I'm still lost on that, Jeff. All right. Talty has a good interview. Okay, I think I saw it. I haven't checked it out, but I'll go find it. Okay. All right, you guys ready? All right, we got the pinwheel for the 2 tickets coming up next right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Don't go anywhere. Give me like 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes, maybe 3. Be right back.
Did you know Bama Football on YouTube does movie reviews from American Pie, American Beauty, and everything in between? Be sure and subscribe to Bama on Football on YouTube, live every single day, Monday, 10 a.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. for nightcaps. Like and subscribe.
Be right back in 2 seconds. I know I wasn't muted. I was just kidding. Guys ready? Family, welcome to the Pinwheel, the Alabama football pinwheel right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Today is the day. It's Big Ticket Wednesday that we are spinning for the Wisconsin-Alabama tickets. Now, it is vital that you email me if you win this to email me, all right? Tell me that you won the tickets. Good luck to everybody that has been inside the raffle for Bama versus Wisconsin, all right? The ticket price value for this is $543, all right? It was $25 to get in. I appreciate you guys for being here every single day right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Stay tuned. Later on today, you got Kane Womack. You got more player footage coming in, all right? So we'll do a nightcap. I'll show you more highlights, news as it comes in, and I think probably the next raffle will probably do like a jersey or something like that, or maybe more tickets. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, all right? So good luck to everybody that is in the raffle. Email me, please, 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 please. I'll put it one more time, nmpreps@gmail.com, all right? Hit me up. All right, with that said, here we go. Woo. 3, 2, good luck everybody. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Oh my goodness, who's gonna win? Oh my goodness, Anna, congratulations. Anna, you just won 2 tickets to Alabama versus Wisconsin. Hit me up, you music head. You got it in. Anna, congratulations. First time winner, I think. Man, congratulations. Woo, my heart was racing for that one. 2 tickets, Anna. Alabama versus Wisconsin. Congratulations. Hit me up on the email, all right? Thank you so much for joining me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Congratulations. Also, Joe Crooms, I'm about to email you here in 2 seconds as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for kicking it with Kyle right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Anna, congratulations. You going to Alabama versus Wisconsin. Game 3 right here.